I had the good fortune of growing up in a military family. It was something that exposed me to many different cultures in different parts of the world. My father was raised in the Great Depression, and he was fortunate enough to get an appointment to the United States Naval Academy. From there, he took on a military career, and as I said, it was fortunate for me because I got to meet so many different people and got to learn to be comfortable in a lot of different situations. After I got out of high school, I went to college at Emory University in Atlanta, and having moved so much my whole life, I sort of had the wanderlust after about 2 years, so I transferred out to Boston University where I graduated. And then thinking at the time I would go into law enforcement or maybe into the criminology or criminal justice field. So I got a master's degree in criminology from Florida State and actually worked in the real world for a couple of years as a parole officer. And that was certainly something that allowed me to see a different side of some people, some of them pretty bad people for that matter, but learning again how to deal with a type of person I hadn't dealt with before, something I'd been through my whole young life. When law school was over, I came to Jacksonville, Florida. I got married in law school, and my wife was from Jacksonville, and I was headed to Miami or Orlando or Tampa, but she insisted that she come back home. So we moved to Jacksonville. I went to work at the time with the largest firm in Jacksonville. I spent the next 11 years at the same law firm, thinking I'd be there for my entire career. But two of my partners that I was particularly close with made the decision to leave and start a small firm. And I got a phone call from one of those ex-partners one day inviting me out to lunch. We went to lunch, and what happened next was the question, would you like to join us? We'd really like you to come over. And having given it some thought for 5 or 6 months, I made the decision, I'm going to try it. It started off with a boom, and I worked at it. I moved forward. I developed more and more clients over the years, and at that time, Florida was one of the few states in the country moving forward with certifying its lawyers so that it could certify that lawyers were actually specialists and experts in certain areas of the law. And they started something called the board certification process. I sat for the inaugural construction law board certification exam and passed that exam in the peer review and was immediately certified in construction law. I really felt a lot of my clients had been my real estate partners and business partners because they came to me when their client was in trouble in getting into a lawsuit. So in looking back at the requirements, I discovered that, gosh, you had to try 8 cases in the previous 5 years just to be able to sit for the board certification exam in business litigation. Well, I had done that, and so I sat for the exam, passed it immediately, of course, on the first sitting, and got certified in business litigation as well. So I am one of a few attorneys, comparatively speaking, throughout the state of Florida that has double board certifications, and I've carried those proudly. I've done work in a multitude of different areas. A big part of my practice is, of course, construction litigation, and has been for a long, long time. But I have done very complex real estate litigation, complex title litigation. I've actually done a fair amount of securities fraud work, and outside of the securities, I've done all kinds of business tort litigation, fraud cases, interference with business cases, interference with contract cases, just a whole multitude. Some condemnation cases, inverse condemnation cases when the government is taking real property from you. So I've had a broad background and have tried any number of cases in different areas. And it brings with me a way of looking at problems that's not just from one angle, but from multiple angles, from multiple different disciplines, in order to get to a true solution for my clients.